All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to the 5th recording of this video session. You guys are seeing it for the first time, but I have tried to make it perfect over 5 different recordings. It has been a wonderful time, and I think I got it right this time. So I wanted to make sure that right off the bat I show you exactly what FlipGrid is. And as you can tell, or as you may have heard, I should say, FlipGrid is kind of like a Snapchat application where students are able to take videos and pictures, put them on the internet here only for us to see. It's very private, and they are able to share what they're thinking, answer questions, do different activities, and I'm going to show you all about that as we go. And so the first thing I wanted to show you was just basically what the kids see when they log in. And this is my first activity that I had for them doing, or had for them to do. And this is just like an introduction to FlipGrid basically. On the side here, you can see there's like a little GIF. You can add different options here. I'll show you how to do that later. And then you can see the directions here for the students that I put for their introduction. So basically, it just tells them tap the green plus below, record a short video that says hello, tells us the TV show you watched the most over break, and what you're looking forward to about digital learning. And as they scroll down, there will be a little green plus where they can do their responses. But for us, it looks a little bit different, and I'm able to see the different videos. Now, they are able to edit these videos. They're able to do different things. They're able to add emojis to their videos. And if I click on a video, you can see what the students are doing. You guys can't hear it because it's audio from my computer and I'm on a microphone, but this gives the students options to really be able to go through and add videos about what they're thinking and maybe sometimes even reply to each other. Gives you the option here to add feedback, so I can add feedback and then I can email it to the students so that way they get it at their PCSB account. And just very straightforward, very fun. I've thought of a couple other ways to use it, and I will show you some of those things in a little bit. So the first thing, if you are interested in this, would be to head on over just to flipgrid.com. And that's going to pull up with their home screen. You'll hit Educator Sign Up. Make sure you sign up with your PCSB account. That'll make things a lot easier for you. And then just be aware that after you sign up, they are going to ask you a series of do's and don'ts, or not ask you, but tell you rather. And what they're looking for is for you to send out consent forms to parents for students aged 13 and under. Now, being that I teach 8th grade, most, if not all of my students are over the age of 13. I will leave this up to you if you want to send out consent forms. I know that this is safe the way that I have it set up. I know that students, I will be moderating all student activity on here. It will be private, and it's also linked up with Microsoft Teams, so everything just kind of flows together in our digital learning era. And I really didn't worry about consent forms, but I'll leave that up to you 100%. So once you've signed up, you go through all the sign up. I want to take you to where you will do your actual work. And so as you see, there's a couple tabs up here. Most of the time when you log in, you're going to end up on the My Grids tab. And this allows you to see everything that you have signed up for, all classes that you've put in here, and any of the work that you're doing on FlipGrid. And so if you wanted to add one, it's very simple. It's very intuitive. You just hit Add New Grid. And so they ask you to put a name for it, anything you'd like, whatever works for you. I just put period 1, period 2, and so on and so forth. I'll do test period 2 because I already did a test period earlier. And I always choose school emails. And what this does is allows students to join using their Microsoft email, which is their R2D2 at pcsb.org. And that makes it very simple for them, makes it so that you don't have to worry about anyone signing up or anything else. The next part would be if you wanted to create a flip code. And so students are going to need a code to log in if they're going from their phone, or sometimes it just makes it easier. You can make this code whatever you want. They give you a default. I didn't know that you could change it, so I just went with it. And now that I know you can change it, I just say like Savo 2. Be done. That's the code. So if they ever need the code to get into my FlipGrid, I just say, hey, it's Savo 2 for second period. Use it, go. And so once I've done these options, I'm just going to click Next. it'll say school email. So it wants to make sure that they're using the correct school emails. And if you signed up your account with pcsb.org, it's going to sign up them with pcsb.org. And it's already set up. So all you have to do is click next. Plain and simple. All right. So now our grid is ready. And we're actually going to go to our grid. We're not going to copy and bring this out to anything. We're not going to click on any of these links. Just click go to your grid. And you'll notice that there's a default topic. And the very first thing that I do is hide that. I'm going to click right here and I'm going to say hidden. That way my students don't see it by accident. I did have that problem as I went through this earlier last week. And I don't want students to go into the wrong topics. And so the next step, once I've created the grid, now I'm in my test period 2, and I want to add a new topic. So I'm just going to click over here, add new topic. And so this is the main screen that pops up, and you can make this very basic, but the options I'm going to show you are a must to make sure that this is safe and to make sure that you can moderate and take care of your students appropriately. And I'm just going to give this a title. I'm going to say test again. And you can see there's different recording times, however long you want it to be or however short you want it to be, totally up to you. You can put in questions like, what questions do you have about FlipGrid? And there's your questions, done. And so the next step, it says focus. It says you can add a media resource to engage your students. So if you remember earlier when I was on here, I'll open it up again. You remember earlier I opened this up and I said that you could change this here. I put a little GIF here just for students to kind of laugh and have a good time. And that's basically what it means by adding a media resource to engage your students. And so you can record a video right here. You can add a video from YouTube. You can add a GIF of your favorite liking, whatever you want to engage the students. You can add a picture. Something in your class that they can read real quick or look at and then write about it or speak about it, excuse me. So for example, you could put a picture up here and it could be, if they want to look at symbolism in the picture and then discuss the symbolism in your video. It's very simple. Lots of different options. You can put the News ELA in there where they're able to go and have the link right there ready to go. That way you don't have to fumble around with Teams over and over and over again. Everything's in one spot. And that's what I really like about this. And so before you hit create topic, you definitely want to make sure that you hit more options. And that's going to be the most important thing that you do when setting up your topic. And you can see there's topic tips, there's lots of different things, attachments, and such. But the very most important thing that you need to know is this one right here, video moderation. And this one basically says that I moderate the videos. Students can't see videos until I decide. And I let them know that too. I say this is educational. This is not Snapchat. This is not Instagram. This is where you come here and you answer the questions appropriately. I will double check to make sure that it's appropriate before I post it. And then once it's posted, the students are able to see each other. And then it starts to become fun because then they get more views and they laugh at each other and they have a good time and it really drives engagement. And so this option is here as well. You can do student-to-student replies if you're interested. I haven't played with this yet, and I am assuming that student-to-student replies would be moderated if you have the video moderation turned on. They also have here status. You can make it hidden from the start, or you can make it active. And you can also do launch and freeze dates, as in when it is going to pop up as active and when it's going to close as inactive, if you want to make sure students are getting in there within a certain time, or if you want to set it and forget it. Down here is just some options if you want them to take selfies, videos, if they can edit videos, whatever you want, that's up to you. I always leave it open for selfies and videos because I want even my shy students to feel safe on here. I want them to be able to just take a picture of something that they wrote down if they really don't feel comfortable putting their face on here. So for example, if I asked them a question, they'd write it on a piece of paper and take a picture of that piece of paper. And that's okay too. I know that some of our students get very shy, especially on these kind of platforms, so I leave it at that. So once you're finished with all this, time to create it. Go ahead, click it. And so now it gives me the topic. And so if I want to just share the topic to my students and I don't want them to get confused, I might just copy this and paste it somewhere and say, hey, go here and do this. But I don't really like to do that. I want them to come back to the page, and I want them to see the different grids. Because here's the difference between it. If they go to your grid, like if I am on grids, if they go to your class, they're going to see not only the one that you created, but they'll see other ones that were created as well. So let's say both of these were active. Now they can go back and look at their peers, and they can start driving engagement that way. I want them to see multiple topics. That way I know that they're going to click back and get curious about it, and eventually hold this whole entire program as a very fun and engaging way, even when we're back in regular school. Okay, so once we have created that topic, we've shared it with other people, we know that our students are going in there, yeah, we can go back in and we can click on My Grids and we can go period by period and check everything out and say, okay, well, all these students did it. Let me activate this one, and let me make sure that this video is good. And that's fine and dandy, but that takes a long time. You can use this if you want to make sure everybody's doing it for a grade. That's what I do. But if I'm just in a hurry and I want to watch a bunch of videos and make sure everybody's doing what they need to, I just click My Activity. And so on the My Activity page, you are quickly able to see any videos that have been uploaded in recent history. And you can go, you can start with the first one, and you can watch it, exit out. Watch it, make sure it's good, exit out. Activate it, good to go. And so you can go through a whole list of students very quickly without having to click through different classes and make sure that they are ready and successful with FlipGrid. It makes it very, very simple. So the last thing I want to teach you is how to make it simple for you with Teams. And this also makes it easier for the kids too. And so if you go to Teams, actually, I'm going to back up to My Grids. I'm going to go to FlipGrid and then My Grids, I'm sorry. And I'm going to want to know the code. And I'm looking for 7th period, so the code is Savopoulos 2767. I'm going to need to remember this code right here. And I go to Teams, I make sure I'm in my 7th period, I'm in my General tab, and this plus up here allows me to add apps. So I'm going to add the app. I see that there's a FlipGrid app, and I'm going to add that. I'm going to put in the code Savopoulos 2767. And it's going to pop up and says, okay, we got it. And it's going to add it to the tab. I don't want them to post in the tab. I don't want to mess up my tab like that. So I just want to just unclick that, and then I'll hit save. So now you see that it pops up here. This is highlighted, which means we're in this tab, but I don't want it to say that. I want it to say FlipGrid. So I hit rename and I type FlipGrid. Now it's there. And it's always here for students. And so anytime a student needs to go to FlipGrid, now they can just click here. They log in with Microsoft. Once they click log in with Microsoft, it'll say, click or show up with R2D2, sign in, and then they can do the work. And so that's basically all I know about FlipGrid so far. It's a great introduction for you, and I'm always open to hearing new ideas and learning more about this. If you need any help, I'm still available through the live session right now, and we can work together to make sure that you are good to go. All right. Thanks for your support. Hope you enjoy.